currently Friday evening. The weather has been so hot and humid, so I'm planning to stay indoors for the entire weekend. But I actually have a good excuse this time. And I also thought that it would be fun to do a little like cozy weekend reading vlog. I haven't decided on what I want to read this weekend yet, so let's go over to my bookshelf and take a quick look. I'm actually currently reading these two books right now, Cathedrals and Taiwan Travelogue, but I kind of want something more fast paced and something that I can binge read. So, okay, maybe we could start off the vlog with this book, The Invocations. I have read House of Hollow by this author, and it was such a quick, fast read. I just didn't want to put that book down because it was so engaging and interesting. That book was also kind of creepy and it worked really well, so I'm expecting the same vibes with this book. I'm not sure what else that I want to read right now. Oh, this might be a good book as well. This is Immortal Dark by tigest girma. I know this is dark academia and it has vampires and maybe like a murder mystery as well. Okay, so we got the two books that I want to start off this reading vlog with, and then we'll see how the weekend goes. I'll come back tomorrow to give you guys an update. It is the next morning, and I have read up to page 113 so far. And just as I expected, as soon as I start reading this book, I just get sucked into the story and I cannot put it down. So in this book, we're kind of following three teenagers, young women. First, we have Emma. She is an orphan, but also a very powerful witch. She is a curse rider, and she has been helping some women by giving them this thing called invocations, and they would sell their soul to demons in exchange for power. However, recently a lot of her clients have been turning up dead. And then we're also following Jude. Jude is a teenager. She's 17 years old, but she has been kind of like cut off from her family. She still has all this money from her family, but she's not allowed to communicate with them. 2 years ago, when she was 15, she tried to make a deal with a demon and it went terribly wrong. And since the first demon, she has tried to make 2 more invocations, and so now she's dealing with 3 demons who are fighting for her soul. Now she's just trying to find somebody that can help her undo this terrible curse. And the last character that we're following is Zara. Zara's sister was murdered. However, she's not interested in finding the killer. She's more interested in bringing back her sister from the dead. I wish I have more things to say about this book other than I'm enjoying it. But I really can't think of what else to say. It's just very interesting. I really enjoy the writing style. It's not as creepy as House of Hollow. It's more like witchy vibes. There is a little bit like dark academia, a little bit like a blend of different genres because there's also that murder mystery thing, and then a little bit of some darker vibes because they're dealing with demonic forces. Every character is written in a way that make you really feel for them. I'm so interested in every single character's background, their personality, and their dynamic and interactions with each other. Felt like these characters were written with a lot of heart. So I'm gonna go make my coffee, maybe have some yogurt for breakfast, and then I'm gonna spend the entire day trying to finish this book. Hey guys, so it's actually the next weekend now, but we're gonna continue this reading vlog. So I did finish reading the invocations last weekend. I don't think I mentioned this, but the book feels very modern, like set in our time, because there's mentions of TikTok and COVID. What I really enjoyed about this book was the unraveling of secrets and the unfolding of events. I thought the flow of the story and the writing is really good. We're following three different girls, so sometimes we're jumping between the different scenarios. Of course, there are scenarios when they come together, but even though we're following all these different scenes, everything feels very well connected. And I had a lot of fun trying to form like different theories in my head, not just about like the murder mystery, but also about what each girl is going through and kind of like the family secrets and their past. So yeah, I really like this book and I recommend it if you're looking for something bingeable to read during Summerween or Halloween. And it's not very scary, so if you're looking for something lighter to read during Halloween, this would be a good pick. I read quite a bit of Immortal Dark this morning. I'm now at page 116. This is a dark academia with vampires. So in the past, humans and vampires were at war with each other. And then this powerful sage formed a pact with the vampires to end the war. So now the vampires can only drink blood from people from certain families. If they try to drink blood from people who are not part of the family, then that blood is like poison to them. And then in return for blood, these vampires will serve these families. Our main character Kiran, she comes from one of these families, and more specifically, one of the founding families. And these families slash houses, they're also tied to the university. Kiran and his sister actually grew up outside of this society. Their parents died when they were young, and their wish is for Kiran and his sister to not be involved with this vampire society thing. Now, Kidan and her sister are adults, and recently her sister went missing. Kidan believes that her sister was brought to the university by a vampire. She has been thinking of how to find her sister, and then the opportunity rises when the dean of the university visits Kidan and tells her that she's the next in line heir to the house because her aunt has recently passed away. And if Kiran wants to take possession of a family home, then she has to attend the academy and pass all her classes. But she can also choose to give up her rights, and if she does so, then her family home will belong to the vampire that is serving their house. And she believes that that vampire is the one who took her sister, so obviously she agrees to go and attend the academy. As I mentioned, I'm about 100 pages in, but I already felt like so many things has happened. Kidan and the vampire are definitely enemies. I don't know if the vampire is gonna be the male lead, but right now they absolutely hate each other. I feel like I have read quite a bit of Dark Academia romantasy books, and they all start to be very similar to each other. However, this one, something about this story felt like it stood out. I mean, there is that similarity with, the different houses, and each houses being ranked, so there's that, students competing with each other. But I felt like the author really did like her research, and she put a lot of like thought into crafting the lore and backstory. I also think that our female main character is unique. She is very morally gray, definitely have a very dark side to her. And the vampire, he's giving me kind of like tortured soul vibes. I'm really eating up the Dark Academia atmosphere. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish this book today, but I'm gonna try to read as much as I can and then I'll come back with my next update. finished reading Immortal this morning. I really like how the chapters were like really short. I think the longest were like 5 to 6 pages. Most of them were just 2 to 3 pages. And I think that kind of helped me to get through the book more quickly. I personally enjoyed this story, but I can see how it might not work for some people. First, the pacing is a little bit weird. It's definitely slower pace compared to other Dark Academia romantasy that I've read. The character development is also a little bit on the weaker side and it can be quite info dumpy. It's definitely more of an atmospheric read. The relationships take a lot of time to develop. There's definitely a lot of history and lore. And I find that I enjoy these kind of stories a lot more. The info dump kind of reminds me of Nine House and also Curious Tides, which I think is quite an underrated Dark Academia fantasy. I also enjoy the brief philosophy discussions that were in this book, which kind of reminds me of Ketabasis, which I also enjoy, even though I can see why some people say all these discussions and philosophies don't really connect with the story. I think it's just my personal taste. I know the second book is already out, so I think I might try to pick it up during fall or winter. And I think this is a good place to end this reading vlog. I'm actually ready for my afternoon nap right now. So I think I'm gonna start a new book on my Kindle and then read it until I fall asleep. And I will see you guys next time.